Stop recording button.
Okay,
Double
so
tap to activate.
I'm gonna show y'all how to make a really good side dish. All your, you know, if it's Mexican night or whatever, I'm gonna show you how I make this. This is like, I'm calling this the new Spanish rice. Okay, this is the new Spanish rice. Uh, and I like vegetables in there. So with the Spanish rice, usually you got to cut, put bell pepper, onion, jalapenos, or whatever it is, kind of vegetable up in there, and pretty much fry the rice. There are so many ways I've seen them do Spanish rice, but sometimes it never ever comes out right, because you have this tomato sauce or whatever in there. Sometimes Spanish rice could be such a hassle, and I don't have a trash bowl. Let me see if I could get this one right here. I'm gonna use that as a trash bowl. So I'm gonna try to hurry up with this too. But this is like the new Spanish rice, and you could do this at a dorm if you have some nacho cheese chips. That's all you need is some nacho cheese, all AKA, Doritos. There's other brands that's the same. You want that nacho cheese flavoring on there. So look, I'm gonna make mine a little spicy. I'm gonna dice up some jalapeno, and you can see how I'm dicing mine very small, very small pieces here for the jalapeno. I'm gonna slice my hands, but I'm pretty quick, because if I feel my finger underneath that blade, I won't cut. My brain is telling me pretty quick, hey, you about to slice your hand. You about to slice something on you. My main finger is my index, always, and then I know my other fingers follow behind, and my thumb also helps to hold the food while my other hands are keeping it steady. My other fingers are keeping it steady. So what is this new Spanish rice? It might not even be Spanish rice. It might not even be called Spanish rice, because it's not from Spanish. It's really, I call it nacho cheese rice, Dorito rice, but it does have those flavors that will go absolutely amazing with your Mexican food. I'm gonna put a little bell pepper, not all of it though, like just the bottom part of the bell pepper in there. This gives it that flavor. Give it a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Okay, mostly the jalapeno right there is going to give me that green. It's going to give me that green taste up in here. I'm going to put small dice. Okay, small dices. Not nothing big. Do what you want to do. Slice yours the way you want. Okay, I like mine's like so that it actually helps it out a little bit more. I think it adds flavor to that water that the and I'm going pretty. I hope I'm going fast. So I want to get this rice video out. This is my, I don't know if anybody has ever tried this. Everything you see me do on this channel is something I thought of. I don't go, looking at TikTok, and when I look at TikTok, it's always somebody fighting for some reason. I don't know why. That's the best. That's like all they show on there. Or somebody trying to be a motivational speaker. Manipulators. Somebody taking a video strip of something and trying to manipulate you with a few seconds of another video. So it's a lot of that going on. Again, I'm gonna put onion in there too, but not a lot. Not that much. Okay, because I want that onion. That onion. Okay, kill it. Yeah, you gonna watch me cut some vegetables. YouTube gonna say that's a short, that ain't a video. Small dice. Okay, there. Vegetables are all done. Seems like a lot. Always. I be heavy-handed with this stuff. This is my favorite stuff to eat. Bell peppers, onions, jalapenos. I cook with this stuff religiously. This stops cancer. You need to eat a lot of this stuff. All of these things. You won't have parasites and worms in your body when you cook with a lot of this and garlic. As a matter of fact, you put a little bit of garlic up in here too. And I can do that because the garlic is it needs to like cook with the food. And of course it would be that I have to go up in here and get my other bowl from out here. So let me see how I'm gonna peel this garlic. One garlic bulb is way too much. Did I just put that skin up in there? Shoot, I'm not about to look for it. Hopefully I'll find it. One garlic bulb is way too much. That's way too much garlic. Maybe it's not enough. But I love garlic. Put like the amount you want in there. I'm trying to get this. Okay, now I cut this garlic so fine it might turn into a paste. I think that's enough, y'all. That is enough garlic in there. It's sliced so thin, it's like a paste. It can overpower everything. You don't want to overpower your rice. Okay. There. That's done. vegetables. Here goes my pot that I'm going to be putting the rice in. I'm using a parboiled rice, and there's no measurements. But if you know how to make rice, what you usually hear a lot is 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. But I don't do that. I put a certain amount of rice in here, like maybe this much. I just get a good amount of rice up in there. It's going to double in volume a little bit on me. And I use the 1 notch method. This is a parboiled rice. I know how to cook regular rice too. So this is a parboiled rice. I'm going to wash this rice anyway still. And I'm going to put the water, fill the water. I'm going to have my finger on the top of the rice. Okay, on the top of the rice. And I'm going to fill it up to where it gets to the notch on my finger. And that's how much water needs to be above the rice.
Switch to front. Stop record. Pause. Stop recording button.
Okay.
Double tap to activate.
The water is in there. It's up to the notch in my hand. When I wash this rice, I take the rice and I squeeze it in my hand over and over and over, and I wash the rice and I pour off the water and I fill it back up, and I do that all over again. I smooth the rice out on the bottom, and then I fill it up until the water reaches the notch on my finger, that line on your finger, that first line on your finger. Now this rice, when you're washing it, you will feel that it feels polished. It feels a lot different, like little pebbles of glass. Okay, same way you do any rice. Now I'm gonna put my vegetables in here as well. Put my vegetables. Seems like a lot. It seems like a lot. And you saw I tried to put a little bit. I just cut up 1 jalapeno, half a garlic, and the little piece of the bell pepper on there, and it's already filled up everything. So it seems like a lot of vegetable, but this is the rice we're talking about. So I'm gonna stir this up like that with my hands. Okay, I'm also going to put salt. I'm going to put some salt, which I should have grabbed that a while ago, a long time ago. I have to look for the salt. Here is my salt. Oh, right in my face. So I'm using the sea salt. I always use sea salt. You just put a little sea salt up in there, in the rice, just like that. Right there. That's also going to help the Doritos that we put the Doritos up in there. Okay, this goes on the pot on the stove, high heat. I'm going to put this on the stove now at high heat. I'm going to watch it though. I have to watch this rice. But right there, it's on the stove. Now for this part, we need to crush our Doritos. Bowl here. I'm going to use that bowl. So take your Doritos. You have, I would say, I don't really know the recipe for this, because this is just something that I came up with. So I put 2 bags of Doritos in mine when I first made this, and I was astonished. I was like, wow, man, that tastes like the best Spanish. That tastes like Spanish rice for real. I was really happy. So this is about 2 bags or a little more. That's about 2 bags. 2 small bags. And I'm gonna use a can. Put a little soap on there. So I have a can here that I'm using to crush these chips. Look at how fast that crushed them chips for me. See? Crush them chips down into a powder. Small pieces. I don't know if you can see that. Wiggle it around. Just like that. Okay. This is a clean can. I washed the can. On the bottom. Now, there is a certain time to put this in. That's the whole key. That is the whole key of making this rice. You don't put this in when there's a lot of water in there. You put this in right when your water has fallen underneath the rice. Your water will boil underneath the rice when it's bubbling from underneath the rice. Is when you fold in your Doritos. Okay, let's check them and see if we got them all. And that might not be enough, so I really want to put some more. I want to put some more. It's gonna taste more like a Spanish side dish with more nacho cheese flavor in your rice. Okay, and now this should be enough. I'm gonna stop right here. Okay, this should be enough. I'm gonna pause the video, and when the water gets to the right stage in cooking, I will fold the Doritos into the rice.
Switch to front cam. Stop recording. Pause. Stop recording button.
This
Double tap to activate.
rice smells good. You see what this rice is doing? Now you can see that. You see what this rice is doing here. It's boiling. I come and I stir this rice. You stir your rice. Move the stuff off the bottom. Move the stuff around. Okay? Make sure you move your rice around. This is just like pasta. You will not have burned rice on the bottom. And there's really no measurements for this. I'm just moving my rice around while it's boiling. That's it. That makes it boil evenly. You have evenly cooked rice. Okay? It's okay to stir it at this point and mess with it. It's boiling in there. The starches are more starches coming out of the rice. And there's really no measurements needed. Okay? There's no measurements needed. As long as you follow that notch, that one notch, you're good. You know, season your rice to your desire, your taste. I would, and you do need to season rice because it's one of those starches that needs seasoning, just like pasta. But not like pasta because you don't take the water out. The water stays in. It absorbs the water. So you don't want to do it quite like pasta. Okay? But you do want to season it. Now, those vegetables, the way I cut them, they're going to either disappear or you won't notice them. And they're going to release their flavor a lot better when it's diced small. That way the rice has a better chance of absorbing. Everything is cohesive. Okay, let's smooth the rice out again here. Look, it's doubled up in volume. It's almost to the top. Okay, see how that rice wants to do. And now this rice here, the water is underneath the rice. See that? The water is underneath the rice. Okay, this is the time when I'm going to fold in the Doritos at this point. Trying to do this with one hand. Now I'm just gonna fold the Doritos into the rice. I'm gonna get some on the floor. I know I am. So my pot is too small. Let me put y'all down a little bit while I do this.
Switch to front camera. Pause. Stop recording. Button.
Okay, the
Double
rice
tap to activate.
the Doritos has been folded into the rice, right? Now, this is the stage where you put the fire on a low. Normally people put their fire on low, right? But I put it on low with the lid on, and I'll have the lid on my rice, right, like this. Okay, so my lid is on my rice. Now, what happens here is steam is being made up in there. Steam is, okay, my lid is tripping, y'all. You see this pot. You want to make sure you have a seal on your rice. Okay, so whatever, when that's done, leave that on there for about 2 more minutes while it's on low, and then turn the fire off. Do not take the lid off of your rice. Do nothing for 6 more minutes. The internal heat inside there will keep continuing to steam the rice, and you will have fluffy kernels of rice that you can actually, this not going to be gummy rice. It's going to be a good texture rice with the Doritos in there. But this rice is a medium, like between clumpy and single, like rice kernels. That's the kind of texture you're going to get with this rice. So right now I'm going to let this rice sit. After that, I'm going to put, after it has sit and steamed for a while, I'm going to put some shredded cheese on top and just let that melt. And that is how you make Dorito rice, or the new Spanish rice too.
Switch to front camera. Stop recording.